Hello, BookTube. Well, it's a bleak and barren Sunday once again. The day on which I get no books in the mail, and it's been a fairly full day. But still, I'm trying to console myself with a tag, and I have one. I have one in mind. It is the old book tag, which I saw just recently on Mark's channel, Richardson Reads, and he didn't tag me because he hates me because I smell. But I'm doing it anyway because I like the tag. It's all about the age of things in the book world and in your own personal book collection. And question number one is, have you ever bought a book that was made before you were born? And the answer is yes. And the reason is because of the Brattle Bookshop here in Boston, which it has a huge turnover of stock, and a large amount of that is, estate sales, house sales. So it's not new books all exclusively by any means. Any given day on the Brattle, you'll find a book that's 150 years old that's just $3. So you can just I've shown them on this channel where you can just pick it up and buy it. So yeah, I have plenty. Question number two: which book on your shelf takes place in the oldest time period? It's not on my physical shelves. It's an electronic book, a self-published electronic book that is entirely set in heaven before the creation of mankind, before Adam and Eve. And the author does a lot of imagining in the course of 215 pages. But as you can imagine, a heaven before humanity is a heaven without any kind of conflict. In fact, a heaven without any chance of conflict. And so there isn't any, and it's kind of dull. Question number three: have you got a book published in the year that you were born? Yes, I do. It's Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, and it's fantastic. The book is actually more enjoyable than the movie. Question number four: which book on your shelves have you had the longest? For me, it isn't there isn't really a clear forward contender, because my library collection has been decimated a couple of times, including once by fire. So I've not managed to hold on to things, the same copy of the same book, for very long at a stretch. And also, I do a huge amount of pruning, a huge amount of selling through. So even something that I've had for a real long time, periodically, at least once a year, those books are subjected to ruthless scrutiny, where I look at it and I say, okay, well, you're a treasured heirloom, but are you carrying your weight? Because if you're not, you're gone. So there isn't really a front contender for the one I've had the longest. Question number five: which book have you had the longest without reading? Well, we've been over on this channel before that I don't keep books on my actual bookshelves that I'm just meaning to read but not actually reading. The best example would be out in the other room. I have one bookcase entirely devoted to advanced reading copies. So, and I don't always read those right away. In fact, some of them I like to wait and read them closer to when they come out. And some of those are now, I have a couple for August. So those would be the ones that will be on my shelf the longest. I don't think I'll read them until summertime. And that bookcase will now be the only place where you find books like that in my book collection. Books that have been sitting here for a while that I haven't read, just for time-related reasons, not because I can't make the time to get to them. It's just because I don't want to read a book now in the middle of winter. If I know I'm going to be reading it, in the summer, I'm going to want to be fresher to the time of publication. Question number six: what's the oldest book you own? I have a very old book. I have three very old books, but the one is by far older than the others, and it's not here in the house. It's actually in a bank safe deposit box. I just put it there years and years and years ago, and I've never bothered to, I just leave it there. And it's the Enchiridion. It's the Handbook of a Christian Knight by the Dutch humanist Erasmus. That would be the oldest one. It's mighty old. And question number seven, last question. What book do you have that was written the longest time ago? And I think if you look at this wall of penguins, you'll find the Penguin Classics rather uninspiring edition of Gilgamesh. And that would have to win. I almost never. I don't know exactly where it is on there, but I almost never go back to it. I wish that Penguin would either commission or find a really good, invigorating edition of Gilgamesh with notes, and use that instead of the one that they typically use. But that Gilgamesh would have to be it, and that's it. That is the old book tag, which did cheer me up a little. I've got a huge amount of stuff to do, so and that's always good on a bleak and barren Sunday. So I'm gonna get to that now, but I'll be back soon. I'll see you then. Thank you, BookTube.